I'm redoing the flooring in my gym and I'm creating a moat or a trough between the climbing pads and the climbing wall. And I need to take a piece of plywood and rip it in 6-inch strips going the length of it. And what I have to do that is this. And Craig makes a really cool jig that I have used before. This slaps on here, you bolt it on, and it makes it super easy. But it's $50. And when you're making 4 cents an hour, it takes a long time to save up to $50. So what I'm gonna try to do tonight, or today, is I'm gonna take some scrap plywood, and I'm gonna try to make my own sled to do that, and I'll show you my attempt. We'll see if it works. Hopefully it works. Let's get to it.
So I am using a 3/4 inch cabinet grade pine plywood here for the base of the sled. It is 12 inches wide by 48 inches wide, and I'm going to cut that down so I have 16 inches past where the blade will come down through, so I can make a 12-inch rip. That allows me some space for the fence on the bottom.
You know, I suppose that I should make all my cuts that I need for this jig before I screw my saw down to the jig. Yeah. Back up a little bit.
Now it's time to start making the fence. I'm going 4 inches wide with this, and then I'm going to attach a block to help it square up when I put it onto the jig. I made a mistake when I attached this block to help square it up by gluing it down. If I were to do this again in the future, and I would recommend to not glue this down so it could be slightly adjustable, just in case it's off a little. I have a block attached to the top of the sled so the saw is in the same place every single time I put it back on. It's attached with 4 screws.
Now I need to loosen this up. I'm going to pull my guard back. I'm going to very carefully turn the saw on, keeping the blade up off of the workpiece, and then just slowly drop it in. Like butter.
Now it's time to make this sled slide like butter over the workpiece. And that requires a lot of sanding and what I used to use when I was a kid on sleds, which is wax.
Oh, it is way too late for me tonight, but I got the jig done. And it honestly didn't take me all that long. It is kind of bulky and cumbersome, but the one that you buy in the store is also obviously not as bulky as this bad boy, but I'm really excited to see how it works. So I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna not mark out anything at all, and I'm gonna run a cut, hopefully, and then we'll check it afterwards, see what we did. Let's check our fence, and I'm slightly up on the back, so that's going to be a quick fix. I'm going to just kind of mark this wrong. Go for attempt 2 here. This blade no longer has the guard on it, so you can't just set it down afterwards like I'm used to. That would have been bad. But as far as that goes, man, that was slick. Just that quick adjustment with the fence on there, and it worked nice. Where's my tape? Always looking for my tape measure. Tape. Oh, tape measure. An 1/8 inch off here. Surprisingly not, and we're spot on right there. Oh, you know what this was? This was because the blade was twisted. Whew. This is gonna go so much faster. I think this was a good success. So I am gonna go ahead and go to bed. If it is 11:45 at night where you are, you should probably go to bed too. And I'll see you in the morning, which for me is right
now. I made 42 planks with this jig in the morning.
It saved me a lot of time. If I were to even factor in the time that it took me to make this jig, I still saved time just from this one project. And I'm gonna be able to use this again. It actually worked out extremely well. I would say almost better than the one that you buy in the store, which I think I'm gonna have to check the price on Amazon. I didn't even think about that before. But anyways, this works really well. There's a couple of adjustments that I like to make to it. The first one is the safety. You gotta be super careful with this because no matter what, that blade is exposed all the time. So if I improve this jig, it's gonna be to cut a bigger hole right here so the safety guard can drop down underneath the jig and cover up the saw when the saw is not being used. Another thing that would be really nice is to be able to make this fence on the back adjustable without those screws, and I think this would be an amazing jig that would save a lot of time. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you have, hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe. It helps me do bigger and better things and meet with people. And I will see you next time right here on Climber Dad.